Shut up!
Hey guys, welcome back to the Noise Podcast, a show where we broadcast the world through the eyes of 18-year-olds. Today is a really special episode because it's the first episode where we have a guest. And our guest for today is our friend Devdas Shenoy. Devdas, would
Hey
you
guys,
like to introduce yourself?
I'm Devo Shanoy. I studied with these guys. Yeah, that's about it. Nothing more special.
Yeah, we can't get famous people, so we got Devdas. Today, we decided to talk about unsolved or solved internet mysteries. All of us here have picked one of the other internet mysteries which we find are interesting, and we decided to talk about them. Let's actually start with Ram.
Yeah, so today for the first subtopic that we're planning on covering is under the topic of internet mysteries is Cicada 3301. I'm not sure how many of you have actually have heard of this. I mean, it's not exactly mainstream as such, but it's a really interesting story.
What's wrong with you?
So
You're the most mainstream. Your topic the most mainstream amongst all of us. Honestly,
comparatively, but the whole internet mysteries thing isn't
no,
Still a
but
pretty interesting
extremely
topic.
well
So
known.
yeah,
It's
Try
not extremely
researching
well known.
about this stuff.
Cicada 3301, it's basically the name itself refers to what is thought to be an organization that on multiple occasions they posted puzzles on the internet. If I'm not wrong, the first puzzle was posted on 4chan, and it just seemed like a regular challenge like you would see on 4chan every now and then. But then it turns out, I'll give you the example of the first puzzle that they actually put out. They gave a text file that said, examine this image and try to crack the code that's hidden within it. And the image, when run through a text processor, it had an encrypted link and another message alongside it. So as soon as the first batch of users cracked that code, they knew, okay, fine, there's a second step to it. This might get interesting. And from the image, the link actually linked an image on IamGur, and this image basically led them on another ghost chase on a similar line as the original one. And basically they had multiple such images linked in an encrypted manner until it ultimately ended up on a Reddit page. And on this Reddit page they started posting updates to the whole cicada mystery that they had started off. And yeah, basically it's a string of puzzles that these guys have put out on the internet. And of course, as follows with any internet puzzle that you pick up, you have lesser and lesser people advancing to the next stage. I mean, unless they're helped, of course. But yeah, in this case, yeah, that was the issue. And what wasn't initially mentioned was that this is what the organization wanted. It looked like they were actually trying to narrow down individuals who were smart enough in the fields of data security, cryptography, and were basically interested. Anons, basically. You've heard of the hacker group Anonymous, right? Basically, they're looking for people with the same skill sets as Anons. And finally, when it advanced onto the ultimate stages, it looked like one of the links that they were given. It took them to the dark web. Wade's gonna be pretty excited to hear that. And so what is given on the dark web site was a set of coordinates, real world coordinates. Some going to Paris, some going to Washington D.C. if I'm not wrong, and some going to Shanghai. So basically, yeah, it was clear that it was a worldwide operation. It wasn't just some troll trying to waste people's time. And what was found at these locations was sheets of paper with the cicada insect logo on it and a QR code beneath it. And the QR code, again, it led them to another site where it advanced to a stage where the organization, the Cicada 3301, they requested all those who had cracked it till the final stage to stop sharing everything with everyone else, and that this was actually a recruiting process for highly intelligent individuals, as speculated by a lot of others beforehand. So from there, a lot of stuff is very hazy.
But
because
wait, so it actually was a recruitment operation and not
yeah,
just like.
that's what all the evidence is pointing towards.
No, there was this one YouTube series by Great Big Story, if I'm not wrong.
Oh
Great Big
yeah, I
Story.
saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where they spoke to, they have like a 4-part series where they spoke to the people who cracked the code and who are publicly announced. They said that they were just put into a chat room and that's it.
exactly. From that chat room, what's said is that they extended an invite to join a group that was again, it was basically interested in data security and all those fields that I mentioned before. And there was one guy in 2012. His name was Marcus Weiner. He was one of the people who solved it till the end. And finally, after the whole puzzle was complete, he was invited to an interview where they asked him about his views on information freedom, online privacy, and censorship. And he didn't disclose much else. But basically, what's known is that those who answered all the questions at the stage satisfactorily, they were invited to join the group, and they were given projects intended to further the goals of the group.
Hmm.
So yeah, basically it's kind of like okay, I mean, again, we're going into the conspiracy section here. This isn't actually verified. It looks like it's a recruitment procedure for, say, Anonymous or another hacker group that you would come across. So anyway, sorry, that was an extremely simplified summary of what actually went on. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm pretty sure this didn't just end in 2012, you know? Okay, this is gonna sound very VB. Who watched Doraemon as a child? There was this one episode where the kid Nobita was trying to grow a cicada. And I
Oh
remember I
right, I
learned a
think I've
fact
heard of
from that.
this.
I
I heard
learned a
of this.
fact from that. Cicadas, they hibernate for like 7 or 17 years, if I'm not wrong. Wait, yeah, it's 2 to 17 year hibernation. So I'm pretty sure that we've not heard this. That wasn't the last of Cicada 3301, and also 3301. So they're pretty strong. Nokia showed us that.
Nice.
3301, apparently what is disclosed during one of the scavenger, there were three scavenger hunts so far, by the way, and in one of them what is revealed is that 3301, it's basically a prime number code that's used for encryption. And yeah, this was a part of one of the puzzles where they had hidden three prime numbers in a picture and you had to crack it.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah, it's actually brilliant.
I remember one of those pictures popped up in South Korea, and yeah, it turned out to be fake also. That
Yeah,
that one pic.
obviously, because
That's
as
because
as long
yeah,
as there's something going on, there will be a
Brilliant.
lot of posers who are trying to ride the coattails.
you
Exactly.
know,
So what the original head of the organization, he goes by the name 3301. He had actually included a verification link
Oh,
in
yeah,
all
yeah.
of his clues
Correct. I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
to
that.
ensure that you picked up the original ones and not an imposters.
Hmm. I've
But the
read about
point
that.
is, this whole thing created a community. I remember like the whole time when I watched the documentary, especially, there's like a community which is always there to crack it every year. Yeah, it does not. It's not stopped yet, by the way. Yeah, Devdas is right. It goes on every year. Every
No,
year they put up a new thing.
no, but they
New.
stopped it at 2015 or 14. I'm not sure.
They
They
stopped it.
yeah, they posted like for 3 years continuously on
Yeah.
in 2015 or 16. I'm not sure.
17 from
Posted.
what I'm seeing here.
Okay,
April
yeah.
2017 was the last one.
Oh wow, really? I thought they posted on in 2015 saying don't trust the other ones out there, but I didn't
Yeah.
think they were
The
puzzles
point
out.
is, don't trust the other ones out there. Can come out anytime. That's not
Yeah.
the end of it. I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, at least for
But
the sake of our curiosities, let's hope it's not the end of it.
no, but what do you think is, what is your speculation? What do you think it is?
I mean, it could be a number of things. As Sriram said, like Anons, Anonymous could be, or a similar hacker group could be behind it. But I think a more plausible explanation would be like government organizations,
Yeah,
or yeah, because
I was.
government organizations have been known to do this kind of.
By the way, Project Lazarus and several of the encryption shit, this encryption stuff that was in Cicada had a lot of parallels.
Yeah. So you see like direct parallels between these two
Yeah.
and like government agency hiring stuff. I mean, it wouldn't be a normal this kind of thing, like a normal pathway to being a federal agent or something like that. But it could be a special branch or something of some government. I'm not sure.
It
I
makes
mean,
a lot of sense to hire like this because it's like conducting hackathons to hire into tech companies, right? It produces the highest quality freshers.
exactly. Yeah, and more importantly, the globalization of this. I mean, the globalized version of this.
What is this Mr. Robot thing theory Ram comes up with?
What?
Like,
What?
yeah, the private companies are the last people I see hiring like this.
Dude, hackathons aren't literal hacking.
No, I get it, but
Yeah,
private companies, literally, I feel they're the last people
They scout
hiring through
talent
a
through
method like this.
hackathons.
No, they
They
do.
don't hire, but
why
they
not?
they scout like talented
They
kids
do,
and all.
but I
They
don't.
identify through these events.
Yeah,
But just
but
think
mainly
about it.
public institutes do it. Like, I mean, that's what I think Anmol is trying to say. Like militaries and stuff, they try to
Yeah,
put.
HL
this
recruited
is
through a hackathon once very recently, if I'm not
no,
wrong. You
no.
remember the voting
I get.
machine, the whole voting
Dude,
machine issue?
obvious.
No, no, no. In after the last
I
elections,
remember. I remember.
yeah, there was a
When the
hackathon.
EVM thing came up,
Exactly, yeah,
the
yeah.
people
Ah,
started, and there was this one man who claimed that he completely hacked the EVM also.
That was fake or something, right?
Yeah, no, that was a hoax, but the
Huh.
guy did so.
mhm.
The guy was supposedly funded by the Congress and stuff like that. I remember this thing.
Okay, I think we're deviating a bit here.
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with what Sriram said, though. Sriram and Avya said, see, if they were hiring hackers for Anonymous, I don't think they'd trust some guy who's talented outside of a circle that is trusted. Like the underground circle, right? So you know these hackers, you know that these guys are trustworthy. Even if you haven't met them, you know that, yeah, these guys are reliable. So why would a group that tries to stay as anonymous as possible try to expand the circle and try to get people from outside?
Mm,
This seems like a way to open way
yeah.
of hiring a potential team member.
Hmm.
So the government idea actually makes a lot of sense.
What if it's something like Kingsman, dude?
Ooh.
Oh, that theory is nice.
I'd be
Yeah.
more. I'd actually imagine the kind of finances that would go into something like that. It's actually crazy.
Dude, no, the
Done.
point is,
I will only start studying only comp science if that's the thing.
yeah, yeah, no, Cicada is pretty elaborate. So that's what my thing was with private companies. I don't think private companies are going to go to such an extent for such an elaborate scheme to hire 2 3 people.
It's mostly some ideologically motivated group,
Why not?
like Anonymous
Exactly.
itself. Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, because private companies are like trying to maximize profit. I mean, this doesn't make sense to put crews
They
all over.
need maximum manpower. They don't need maximum brains.
Yeah, and if it was a
They-
private company, definitely they would have milked it for ad revenue, right? They would have definitely had a huge expose in the end.
No, it's like Clue 1 sponsored by NordVPN.
Oh my god.
Clue 2 sponsored by
Alright,
Raid
so-
Shadow Legends.
Great
You
job.
know what? You can be a part of Anonymous too by using NordVPN today.
Now let's move on to the next mystery. I think Devdas is about to share this one.
Yeah, this was a website which came around in September, mid-September 2011, and the name of the website was 28OCT2011.com. So it was all surrounding 28th October 2011, which is also the day that Anmol turned 10.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
yeah, 28th October is my
Uh,
birthday.
So from the first site, okay, now the website has been down since I think 16th August 2015, which is a day after India's independence. But first looks of it, people thought it was a pathway for lucid dreaming because it had a man who was, you know, that picture where the meme where a guy is dying and his soul is escaping him, but the body is still sleeping.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
There was an image like that, and people thought it was something for lucid dreaming. And 3 days after that certain date, mid September, there was a message, like a large sentence, and I'm going to read it out. If you can't have patience for this, you won't be able to for that. All but who knows? Question mark. That's it. So that raises a question about, okay, how long do we have to wait for this, and what is it really about? So people still don't know what this was about and who was behind it. Or for the sake of the storytelling, it's speculated that people don't know who it is. There's a big psych in the end. No worry. So then they started giving puzzles, like really normal puzzles, not cicada level puzzles, and like you'd have images and just connect them. Like anyone who's been in a quiz, like those connect questions,
Oh
like
yeah,
one
the four que-
question.
Correct.
Yeah,
Ah.
exactly. Questions like that, and you just have to decode that. And I think they would just the developers would just find out who was doing them or solving these puzzles just by looking at the links. It was like a series of websites. So each part of or each image would take you to a different website.
Okay.
Like say in Amazon, you have categories, say mobile and electronics, that
Oh,
takes you to
okay.
one. Stuff like
Okay,
that.
okay.
On the same day, later that day, there was an image of Schrodinger's cat. So anyone who doesn't know about the Schrodinger cat theory, it's basically when you lock a cat in a closed environment and you keep it there and you keep it in arm's reach of anything that can kill it silently or without any pain. You can't really suspect or come to a conclusion if it's really dead or not,
Unless you
right?
observe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unless you
exactly.
observe it, yeah.
Yeah.
And that again raised speculation. So people really thought it was lucid dreaming. Oh, everyone knows what lucid dreaming is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
hope.
basically, for those who don't know what lucid dreaming is, basically when you're dreaming and you can like be yourself in the dream, like you're dreaming,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
you're
You
dreaming
can
and
actually
say
control.
Hitler just rises from a grave and does Heil Hitler, and you know it's a dream because no way in hell that's
No,
happening in real life,
actually, I
right?
mean, arguably, in a dream, you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't realize it if that happened.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's a normal dream,
it's
but
pretty
this is a
messed up.
lucid
It's
dream.
weird,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've had one and it's kind of very weird. I've had one in the past 2 months. Yeah.
Uh,
You would have had multiple
Lucid.
actually. Like it's not rare, but it's not very common either.
Yeah,
It
But I
happens
it's
thought lucid
automatically.
dreaming was you could take control of like your dream because you
yeah,
know you're
exactly.
in a
You
dream.
know
You
what's
can
that's what it
control
happening.
what
is.
happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's
You
not
know
that
what's
hard to
happening.
control it once you know it's a dream, right?
No,
Because
I
it's
Yes.
your brain
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
generating everything.
yeah.
Okay,
So like,
Devdas,
yeah,
want some help here? I found the website. I'll help
you
you out.
use a Wayback Machine.
Yeah, I use the Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
It's here for you. This is the website. The
Ah,
Schrodinger.
Wow. Okay.
Yep,
This
that's
is
the
weird.
Schrodinger cat. There was a okay, if you can see it, there's like random code there, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff
yeah,
that
right here.
people had to decode on their own, and you can see the JPG icon, right?
Yeah.
Up, scroll up, and you can see it there, right?
Uh,
Apparently, that would take you to another sub page. Okay, so underneath the Schrodinger's cat theory, there was, are you
Another
starting
link.
to feel it? Which is raising suspicion, like, are you
uh,
getting excited about what this is?
I remember there's a link here. No, it's not an
Yeah,
illusion.
that's two people, and there are four eyes, as in four pictures of eyes. And these eyes apparently were linked to people who had lucid dreams again of those very eyes, and they're said to be very haunting, and you could see them when you're awake as well. And
wow.
see, the whole website and the whole series was like you would have a lot of cryptic code, and nowhere it wasn't an organization, that's for sure, because there's not a lot of information about it. So there was one more. I don't think if you can find it now. There was another fill in the blanks kind of paragraph, and it reads out like, when I'm scared and you're close, I feel blank as in fill in the blank.
Okay.
It's hard to feel blank nowadays. Can you find where to be blank? Wait there and you will be blank. Think. things are never initially accepted. However, there is plenty of time. Give up if you must. That's what history has taught you. If you're losing track, get back on the trains. I'm pretty sure trains meant get back onto your train of thought. Like go back to the initial place what brought you there or something like that.
Yeah, as in the dream, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, this honestly sounds like someone's slam poetry blog.
Yeah, it actually does.
Yeah, it
Like
sounds
something
like a
you
mix
tried in
of
someone's scrapbook or something.
yeah, it sounds like a mix of that and possibly a cult or something, like a lucid dreaming cult.
Yeah.
But like
Oh,
lucid
yeah.
dreaming is actually really.
Exactly. People thought it was a cult movement or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
Well,
lucid dreaming is actually quite a big thing, big deal nowadays, I guess. Like I remember a couple of years ago, right? There was a football game that day, and like Arsenal had lost. So what I did
of
was
course.
yeah, of course. So I joined this group on anxiety and depression just so that I could add our
Oh my
friend Sukrit,
god.
just so that I could add our friend Sukrit in there.
Disclaimer: we are not making
Yeah,
fun of
I
the
remember this.
Yeah, this was this is
whatever.
because he's an Arsenal fan, so I wanted to like kind of trick him into doing that. After multiple requests, he finally joined. But an unfortunate side effect of this was I was exposed to a lot of people being
Stories.
stories and stuff, and they spoke a lot about how they take psychedelics to enhance their lucid dreaming
Yes.
capabilities.
People. Though this is an in thing in the States because I mean the people use cannabis for better sleep.
Yeah, that's it's
And
not.
That
it's
just
very
makes no
very
sense.
common. It makes zero sense. For you right now it makes zero sense, but you don't know
Yeah.
if it's true or not.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Don't knock
No,
it till
but
you've tried it, Anmol. I haven't tried it, but either way, just
No,
don't knock it.
no. Cannabis is a potent. What do you say? Something that keeps you awake. It's something. It's not a hallucinogen. It's basically a stimulant.
No,
So
I
Okay,
think they
Anmol,
were
have
using
you tried
something called
this?
CBD. All of this is from Joe Rogan. Everything.
Of course.
Oh yeah,
So have you
CBD
tried
and
this? Have you
THC,
tried
right?
drinking?
Cosgus have
Yeah,
made a
yeah,
video on that. Yeah.
yeah.
no,
Have you
but like
tried drinking
I don't.
coffee and then taking a power nap? It is the best 20 or 30 minutes of sleep you'll ever get. Have you
What
ever tried that?
taking
That
what?
Drink
does not make
no.
sense.
drink coffee and then force yourself to sleep for 20 or 30 minutes. It is the most refreshing and
Is it
like
some power nap thing?
yeah, I mean
Yeah,
it works wonders for your brain also.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's
But
possible.
I'm not trying that because
but
I can't force myself to sleep like ever.
Yeah,
Coffee
it's
makes
just
me sleep, so it doesn't affect me. But for people who actually like coffee and take coffee as a stimulant, this sort of
makes
thing
sense.
works wonders.
No, but the thing is, coffee and cannabis, right? I think going along what Anmol said, they're not exactly psychedelics. Psychedelics by themselves, like, they induce hallucinations like to a crazy extent. I mean, I don't know the dosages obviously, but I would assume that based on other people's experiences. So yeah, so what people do is they take this to induce lucid dreaming, and this is usually preferred by like artists, say painters and stuff, or
Of course.
musicians. Yeah, because when you run out of ideas to paint, they induce lucid
Oh, that
dreaming
makes sense. That makes sense.
hallucinations and they paint that out. Yeah, so they try to remember that
Now
and
we
paint
now
that
we
out.
know now we know what was going to Picasso's head.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but why is site all about how to take LSD?
Why
What?
is what?
Why is there a site about like a website about how to take LSD?
No,
Yeah,
the
because
question is why are you on it?
No,
On the
but
website.
how is like
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, both
but
ways. Yeah.
how is like I see that okay, lucid dreaming can be a part of it, but what I see with many of these kind of theories, right? It's kind of a bandwagon trait because when there is absolutely no clue about something, right?
Hmm.
When one guy just comes up with something that's vaguely reasonable, people just jump onto that bandwagon and say that, oh, this is the biggest possibility possible. Because what I feel is, look, this website was absolutely vague, just a bunch
yeah,
of riddles, and yeah.
Oh, so
it's
another
no
mystery.
the the thing is, you have to remember that the people who take this are artists, right? And like most
Dude,
artists, they try to get meaning
I'm
out
not
of.
talking about hallucinogens. Know the website itself.
Yeah,
What's
so
wrong
they
with the
like
internet?
follow these instructions and stuff, right? Like how to make it as potent as possible.
There are
Sleep.
no instructions. That's the point. Do
Oh
you
wow.
really think they give riddles, instructions via riddles?
So
Yeah, but
you,
that's the thing, right?
That due to a demographic that's probably high reading it at the time.
exactly. They're
Yeah.
already high and they read this and they're like, bruh.
So you want drugged artists to solve a riddle, then to find out instructions to
No,
take
no, no.
it much.
You don't
What
want
if
them
this
to solve the
was
riddle. The riddle itself is the instruction. Like by reading the riddle, they're like, oh my god, man, I'm high.
Okay, so that's just weird.
website takes you back to the September 6th version of it,
Huh.
and all of a sudden, without any necessary
Hold on, September
require what do
6th.
you call them permissions, it starts playing. You know those waveform like all them. You know how a few people in our grade had those apps which played high frequency noise.
Yeah.
Oh, the mosquito
So
repellent apps.
yeah, those.
Oh god, those sucked.
So basically, it played a pretty average frequency waveform, and right after that, they had. You guys remember the ACDS, the graph, the circle with pi radius, trigonometry.
Hmm.
You remember that, right? And it had a bunch of lines and a bunch of coordinates. Now these coordinates basically, apparently, they took you to a place. These coordinates gave you a phone number. Right, that's what happened.
What? A coordinate give you a phone number?
Yeah, just something like that happened, and I'm getting all of my information from the register, and that took you somewhere else. And the phone number, I'll talk about the phone number thing later. And right after the circle, there was a digital clock on the left hand side, just with 12 colon.
Do you want me to share that?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I
I
have
don't think
that
you
too.
can find it.
I had that.
Okay, just check 6th September.
That. That is it. This is from
No,
somewhat around 20th September.
check if there's something on 6th.
6th September. I have to go back to the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, there's the 12th.
Yeah, that's the 12. You see that,
Yeah.
right?
And it
Oh.
kept flickering around. And there's apparently rainfall noises as well going along with that.
This is very weird. These look like
Yeah.
GE problems.
Oh, or gravitation.
Yeah, it looks
Oh, deja
weird.
vu. Nice.
It's just weird. Oh yeah, there is a lot between. You can talk about lucid dreaming with this uh, special whatever picture here. It's a lay awake consciousness.
Yeah, exactly. These are the kind of things that
Ah, the
comes on a
waveform.
lot. So, yeah. Can you hear the music?
There is no audio on Wayback Machine.
Maybe
Oh, nice.
what's the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 3, 2, 1?
Nothing.
No one's decoded them.
Okay, so it's basically something no one can get it right now.
Yeah,
Some-
that's a mystery, man.
There are but two options to discover. Which will you choose?
That kind of looks like ASCII art. Can't take
I
it
know this
seriously.
is
Hey,
this is Japanese.
No, the one below that,
Yeah.
with the slashes.
That's
Oh.
Roman numerals.
No.
What? No.
No.
1,
Where did you? Wha-
4.
What?
Wait, try to read it upside
Dude,
down.
he was talking about drugs not too long ago, and
Dude.
he's saying that is Roman numerals.
Dude, no. Let's try something here. Try to read it upside down.
Yeah.
5, 2.
It's not
Four?
Roman numerals,
It's not.
Yeah.
Dude, it does come out as Roman numerals.
There are no oblique lines in Roman
Yeah.
numerals.
No, I'm taking the straight lines as numbers, oblique lines as gap between numbers.
dude. But there are gaps between those oblique lines and other things.
That's just weird. I can't. Okay, I lost it there. Yeah, just leave it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
And then okay, so back to the line, the life, consciousness, and the dream.
Uh,
The thing that Anmol pointed out, life, conscious, and awake.
yeah.
So from there, there was another portal that took you to just the conditional probability PA by B
Yeah.
formula,
Hmm.
and it was P. They just gave the formula there, that's PA by B equals PA union B. I mean A intersection B by P of
Yeah,
B.
you don't have to be accurate with that. Yeah.
Stuff. People learn from this, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we are
but
18-year-olds, so
We
Yeah.
learn properly.
yeah,
And
go.
then there's when do dreams start to seep into reality? Again, pointing towards lucid dreaming cults. The choice is yours. Again, pointing to a cult, like saying you can join us if you want to.
that
I
sounds
mean,
so
or
passive aggressive.
you know, and then it gave you a binary code which translated to key. Now this key got the guy at the riches link a link to some manuals, like how. Remember when we used to do months? They used to give you background guides.
Yeah.
So it
Please do
basically gave
provide
you a
me.
P.
It gave
And
you
these
background guide.
no, they gave you a manual on what to
Okay.
do. Now, there's records of people getting only the first manual. In the first
Okay.
manual, the PDF had images of eyes, those same eyes, the haunting eyes that were there. And below that, it said not an illusion. And there were images of four. There were four images in a park, like a regular day in a park, not post-COVID. And in each picture, a person would go missing.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, one person would go missing from the pictures, and that just they just left it there. So now getting back to the phone number. Now the phone number has not been tracked. People have tried calling it, and there are reports that people heard screaming, shouting, yelling, like a person dragging something over the floor, a bit of whispering, and then like a loud, unnatural beep, like not the beep from an answering machine. Like we haven't heard what an answering machine
Like an
sounds like, but
ECG
you
machine.
get the gist.
Yeah.
Further investigation on this by people on the internet never got the eyes into the federal side. The phone number had a Texas area code, but it didn't belong to any person. It was like a burner sim.
Ah.
And so you know how in USA you have those white page telephone diaries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yellow
And
pages, you mean?
Yeah, yellow
Yellow
pages.
pages.
the whole thing was tracked to a place in Alabama. But the thing is, that place never really existed. And apparently, there was a person who found out a link to from the website who decoded stuff, and they got information that was run by something called the New Media Investment Incorporation. Now, years later, I read this on a subreddit yesterday about this.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, no, I'm gonna ruin everyone's day by this because I just wasted a lot of people's time. This was apparently done by a college student for a project.
Wow.
Nice.
I mean, I can respect
Which is
that.
why it lasted
Honestly, that's a
from
pretty
Look,
stellar project being on the
no,
college
it
again,
lasted
student
from
side.
2011, September 2011 till
again, that's
around
something
August
about
August 2015, which is your standard college duration in USA.
no, I
Oh,
no. There's
God.
something about Reddit with all of these kind of theories because Reddit shoots down things they
And
can't find
it
out
can be
about.
fake as well. It can be fake as well.
Yeah,
That's the only
no,
thing.
no. The point is, I know a bit about like how Reddit decodes a lot of stuff. If there is no basis of stuff to go about, Reddit basically says it's fake. Like they literally classify it as fake. It's a prank. Done.
Reddit decode stuff?
They
No, but
decode a lot of
Reddit
stuff.
tries
I
to
thought it was
decode.
just
They
4chan
decode
stuff.
stuff
No, no.
in subnet.
There's
Cicada
there's big
3301
air.
was done mostly on Reddit.
Yeah.
Huh, with the links, yeah, but the initial postings were on 4chan.
Yeah, but okay,
Okay, yeah,
fine.
sorry. Anyway, carry on. It
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
Look, the
matter.
point is, if they don't have a basis to work on, they basically say it's fake. So that's what I feel has been done here.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope
let's hope
so.
it.
But I can still respect a college student wasting these guys' time because honestly, no normal functioning member of society would actually waste their time on such a site, right? So
Yep.
it's a win-win in my eyes.
Yeah.
Let's actually go on to the next theory itself.
Yeah, so what I've lined up for today is not much of an internet mystery, but it is still a very curious looking site. And this was archived a long time ago. Now, I'm going to show you the site. So just a second.
It's on the deep web, right?
Yeah, but it's nothing dangerous because it's just an
Yeah,
old
yeah,
site.
yeah.
This sanatorium, this Essex Mountain Sanatorium in New Jersey in America, it served as a home to orphans and it was a rehabilitation center of sorts, like for drug
That
addicts and
looks
stuff.
cool.
So
Yeah,
over here you can see copyright 2001 to 2016. Now the site was archived a long time ago. You can get to know by the quality of the font also. And you can see the dates also over here, 1902 to 1970, 1930 to 93. So I don't want to get into the boring details of the site as much because I just want to jump right into the juicy stuff. So there are two very interesting subtopics that you can see here: hauntings, it's not that obvious, it's not that clear, and sanatorium stories. Now, these made my day when I found it. So I'll just go to the hauntings tab. Okay, so if you can see these pictures, just let me know. Can you see this picture?
Yeah.
Oh
All
can
right.
God,
see.
no! Oh no, I saw this.
Okay,
I
so
don't
I'm just
like this
gonna.
picture.
I bet Ram is covering his eyes right now.
I am actually
Okay, so
covering my
can
eyes.
you
I'm not
see
gonna look
anything
at this
here?
again.
Can you see anything here?
Yeah, I can see it
Okay,
clearly.
so let's just listen to the explanation. Although the suffering and death that occurred there ended long ago, the sanatorium would always be haunted by the past and by the souls that suffered. One night from the stairwell I was in, I heard a noise coming from a hallway. Cowardly, I held the camera through the doorway into the darkness and snapped the following picture, the one which I showed. And I originally intended to post the above picture because of the presence that appears in the foreground. When I scanned and enlarged it for the site, however, I noticed a few more strange things about it. And what this guy noticed when he's posted this is what we noticed first. So I mean that's honestly creepy because usually a lot of pictures and all have been doctored and this mist over here.
dude,
Oh,
that's my third grade math teacher.
what?
What?
I know when I see her, dude.
Oh God.
Wow. I just
Seems
hope
She
she's
like
not
haunted
everyone
me
has
listening.
for
an
3 years.
affinity towards math teachers.
I just hope that none of these teachers are listening to us because oof, that's
No,
very
no, no.
disrespectful.
No, the third grade math teacher was damn scary.
Oh, Avjay pissed off our third grade math teacher to a different level.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god.
Math
Okay, so
class.
Okay, let's
getting
get
getting
serious.
back to this, now if you can see this picture, just let me know if you notice anything. Just don't read the text. It's a bit of a spoiler. Okay, it is a spoiler, but
Apparition.
yeah,
That's
so
that's,
you can
that's
see
the
that over
term what
here. Yeah,
many
apparition. We learned this in English also this year or last year.
I don't know, dude.
Okay,
Apparitions are
so
like they sound really cute and all for me. Like apparition
okay,
sounds really cute,
apparitions sound
but
cute.
Oh,
Cute.
but
some
they're not.
ICS English.
You've got some
ICS
mess.
English.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see. See.
No,
they
learn how to
sound
spell
very
first.
cute, but
No.
yeah,
Learn how to spell first.
I don't know.
Oh God. Don't get
Okay,
us
so
started
you
on
can
that.
see the apparition, and that's about it, right? I mean, it could be anything. It could be mist. It could be fog. That's not that creepy. Now, what is the usual thing that pops into your head when I say creepy?
Anmol.
Nickelodeon.
Nice big deer. Nice big
Wow.
deer. Oh,
Okay, fine.
Nickelodeon. Nice.
So what I would say was is basically a doll or a small girl in a white dress at the end of a hallway, like in the dark. That is the thing that comes to my head when someone tells me like
That is
I
my
saw a
dream.
really creepy thing last night in a hotel.
Dude, that's it's not just one. It should be a twin. It should be twins.
Nice.
Okay, so in this photo of the infirmary building taken during its construction in 1918, you can see the image of what appears to be the face of a little girl looking down on the workers. Can you see?
Oh yeah. There in the top.
Oh my
Yeah.
Top
yeah,
second window. Yeah.
top.
I saw this guy at first. I'm like, that seems normal, but this thing freaked me out. This girl over here. I don't know if it's a girl, but this thing is just creepy. Now, this one over here is the most confusing picture on
Oh,
on
no,
the
no, no,
site
no.
so far.
Oh my lord.
There are
You see
so
the
many
guy on the
things
left
going
side?
on in this picture. I can't even begin to comprehend it. What do you guys see?
I saw the guy on the
Zeus.
left.
This guy, right? That's the first one I
Yep.
noticed as well.
I see
that's
the
not
Zeus
first.
kind of guy in the center, made out of vapor or whatever that is.
This entire thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That guy
Oh.
looks like Zeus,
Oh,
Oh, I
especially
just
with the
dismissed it
it
beard.
as
looks it looks like the the shouting the painting where the hands are on the
Oh
Scream.
yeah,
cheek.
the screen by
Scream.
Edward.
Yes, yeah,
Are there
literally.
two guys in that picture?
Yeah,
One guy,
one
but
guy.
Yeah,
But
there are two.
this guy
and
doesn't
the
look
other
human,
guy
if I'm being
is
honest.
something.
He looks like a
Slenderman.
budget Slenderman. A budget Slenderman.
No, like
1980 Slenderman.
okay.
Yeah.
You guys watch Jojo Rabbit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know the Gestapo guy, the really tall guy.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
get
Oh
it.
yeah,
Oh.
That guy.
the
Yeah. I get it.
That guy.
the
No, wait,
German
Oh, yeah.
soldier who
Yeah. We
speaks
put
in
a
a
picture
British
up.
accent.
Yeah.
wait. To the
Yeah.
left of the central pillar on the
Yeah.
top. Yeah, there.
Oh
Is
my
it just me,
God.
or does that look like Timo Werner?
Shut up.
Nah.
But that looks like a face of sorts.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm
That-
seeing things,
Look,
but oh,
I'll
yeah.
tell you. There's a beard there. It looks like a small beard, and there are two eye sockets.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
Yeah, the eye sockets, the mouth, and a Santa Claus beard.
Look,
Also,
I'll be honest. I'll be honest about. I'll be honest about something with these kind of stuff. Okay, so basically, I'll tell you a real story with my relatives. So I'd been to one of my relatives' house, and this is not scary. It's just a similar kind of thing. He actually had this picture framed and of a function or something where there was a uh, pyre, homa or whatever they call it. Uh, over there, he supposedly in the picture you can see a pretty good horse or something, and he's like, "Oh, that's the horse of God." So that's the thing with this. What I feel, it's like you see something resembling something, you're just like, "Oh, it's a face, and it's Zeus."
yeah, we try to make meanings out of this thing.
He
Yeah,
looks
we
more
tried-
like Skrillex without skin for some reason.
Wow. That has got to be the weirdest thing I've seen.
Yeah,
I can't unsee it now. Oh my God.
can it can be anything right now.
Yeah, it depends on what. It kind of
Yeah.
says something about us as people because what appeals to us or whatever comes to us first speaks volumes about what goes on in our minds.
Yeah, it's like a cheap Rorschach test. You know, the weak plot test.
Yeah.
So in one picture we have a budget Rorschach test and a budget Slenderman. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what we
Hey,
are.
wait, by any
Low
chance,
budget
did
and
this
underrated.
overlap with the 50s?
No, I don't think so.
I doubt.
Oh,
Nine-
okay.
90s mostly.
I wanted to shamelessly plug our conspiracy theory episode. Because MK Ultra.
No,
Okay,
this
yeah, so
can't be MK.
Pictures from 1987 to 1993. Oh, do
Yeah.
you want to see the other pictures or should I move to the stories?
Move to the stories.
Yeah.
The other pictures just smoke. It looks bathroom.
you might wanna censor the school name. You might get into trouble. You might.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I know. I'm not. We're gonna remove that too.
Yeah. Okay.
We
So,
should. We need. Let's make code names for schools.
Uh,
You
And
think
a
people
plot-
won't be able to figure it out?
No, just for our sake. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, it still won't work.
so this place, right? I told you it was in New Jersey, and they haven't actually like torn it down, and the building is still in place, and there aren't exactly things to deter people from entering the premises. So a lot of people have just enter the premises and explore the property for just for kicks. And here are some of the ghost stories that these guys have experienced, and some of the ghost sightings on the premises of the sanatorium.
Just
So-
summarize it if you can.
I mean, it's your classic ghost story. Like I was walking and then I saw signs. I saw a white lady in a gown. I mean, I saw a
Yeah.
lady in a white gown, And
Clean a cow.
okay, the police officer also came in his patrol car. So the white lady in a gown actually makes more sense now.
Okay.
And loaded with guns as well. So I'm not trying to say anything, but that seems very suspicious.
What?
Yeah, see,
A police
figure
officer
in
and a
black.
figure in black?
Figure in black. So it's all coming together now.
Nah.
Yeah, so
Nah.
it's your typical thing. Yeah, okay, so I'll read a shorter story, like the wheelchair. So one night back in 1996, a couple of my friends and I decided to head on up to the sanatorium. It was dark and rainy, so we took flashlights and two of my friends brought their dogs. When we finally got to the clearing, we could see the remains of the institution. It was amazing. We were roaming around for a while when out of the corner of my eye, I saw something move. I knew it wasn't any of my friends. They were all right next to me. I slowly got their attention and they noticed it too. We stepped a little closer to see inside the first floor of the building. There was a very old wheelchair inside moving on its own. The creepy thing was there was no wind that night, not even a slight breeze. We all hightailed it out of there, real friggin' fast. See, this is the sort of thing. This is what happens when you let teenagers like us enter random ghost, like haunted buildings.
Look, I'll be honest. If we even go to our school at night, we'll come out of school saying
Oh,
that, yeah, this
Pakka.
place is haunted.
Yeah, we did
First
100%.
of
that
all,
after a picnic. Remember, there was a ghost in
100%.
the classroom in the third bench.
Dude,
yeah,
dude,
100%.
do you remember your picnic?
Yeah, obviously.
Which
Yes,
picnic?
the one next to the pool.
When have we
Oh,
gone overnight?
Whose
okay.
someone's picture, we're like, oh, there's a ghost there.
Oh, me and Ram don't
And
know
there
this
was
because he
a
was sleeping.
symbol of
I know.
Yeah, look.
Look, the point is anything in the night and abandoned looks scary, and there is a ghost over there.
especially if there's construction involved.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
construction sites are the creepiest things you'll ever see.
No.
In
I,
normal
I
life.
genuinely, I genuinely have a question. Just imagine, if you're a ghost, you can technically go around anywhere.
Yeah.
Why would you be hanging around in an orphanage or a construction
Yeah,
site?
so that's the thing, right? I am sure a
What if they're
lot of.
bound to a place where they died?
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So unless someone frees their soul or something, or allows them or gives them permission to like leave the place or leave the earth, like this human plane or something, unless they can.
This has become a Bhootnath plug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
no.
it makes sense. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
kind of.
Normal ghosts have like a location limitation. What does Bloody Mary have Uber service everywhere? Huh?
No, Bloody Mary is behind. She's in a different
Mirror.
dimension, dude. She's in the alternate mirror
Let's.
dimension.
She's
Yeah,
not in your world. She's in the mirror world, no? Or
Yep.
she's on a
okay.
different plane
Okay,
itself.
cool. Okay, this is
Yeah,
Wait, so
look, see,
pretty
Doctor Strange
this just
would
proves it. This just proves it.
encounter
weird.
Bloody Mary pretty often.
Why?
What?
Yeah.
I just heard mirror dimension and my
Some
brain
other
went off the
dimension.
rails. So.
Oh, yeah.
Cheap Marvel fan. Okay, so here you can
Plus
see
one.
that's what happens when like teenagers like us are allowed to enter such places. So my friends and I have been visiting Overbrook slash Essex Mountain for several years now. I could tell you 100 stories. That is literally what we do when we see any like isolated place or like a deserted building sort of thing. We've spoken about this before also. Okay, I'm gonna look at
I
this
don't
picture.
like that picture. Oh, okay, it's
Oh,
okay.
that
It's
picture
not bad.
looks. It's not bad. There's nothing.
It looked creepy in the preview, but it looks creepy to be honest. See, the list goes on and on and on,
Yeah, I see it. It's
and
it's just weird.
these aren't even new stories. Imagine if the site was still up. Look at this picture of the tunnels.
I'm sure there'll be something on Reddit. That's the weird thing.
That's the thing. People love to talk on Reddit. That's just what they do. But here, look at this. So many things.
Hope you like this segment of the video. With that, we're coming to the end of this episode. Devdas will be sticking with us for the next part as well. I hope we kept you entertained. Keep listening to the Noise Podcast.